Welcome to the Entrepreneurial CPA Show, where we take a deep dive into knowledge needed to break free of the box and become the world-changing entrepreneur we know you want to be. As always, we're here to hit you up with the theoretical and the practical skills you need to punch above your weight. I'm Garrett, and I'm here with Dr. Sean. Today's show is brought to you by our amazing partners. We use their solutions every day, and we suggest you check them out. Prolera, reminding you that CPE doesn't have to be a grind, nor should it. Take your learning to the next level. Hayden Rock Solutions, they provide the roadmap to advisory services. They'll take the guesswork out of getting there. And last but not least, Accounting Fly. They connect you with the cloud accounting jobs, remote accounting jobs, and the most respected firms in the country. Everything you can ask for. Whether you're a firm or a job candidate looking for that next job, they can help you out. Give them a call. Today's show, we're going to talk about a new topic to the Entrepreneurial CPA Show. We're going to do a couple episodes on it because it needs that much depth for what's going on right now. This first is going to be first in our series all about value proposition. You've probably heard the term. How does it apply to us? What does it mean? What does it mean for our firms, our clients, this advisory world? So as always, I've got an amazing partner that I can ask this question to every time. Dr. Sean, explain value proposition to our audience.
Awesome, Garrett. Thanks for that. And I mean, so from a accounting point of view, all of us are sort of, built on and based on the whole sort of billable hour sort of model, right? But I mean, going forward, is that model going to work, right? And I do think that is a question, and I do see Garrett giving the thumbs down right to that going forward. And sort of really, it is not going to focus on, at a high level, on the hours that are actually spent on the work. It is going to be on the actual outcomes based on that work. And I do know that Garrett and I talk about pretty much every week, right? How accountants can sort of leverage, IT and sort of other sort of mindset ideas to evolve, right? And to become more than just the compliance-oriented people or the bookkeepers, right? But to really evolve and to grow into, a full business advisor and a business partner. And sort of the whole shift from hourly billing to a sort of value-based model is, I think, the current step in that process, right? And sort of the whole basis of that idea, as I see it, and as I've seen others sort of actually put it into practice, is great. So fine, we are going to do X, Y, and Z for you, but more importantly, we are going to help you do A, B, and C, right? We are going to help you as a business actually hit those goals that you want from a business-oriented point of view. And I do think Garrett has some, examples or some concepts for us to sort of further illustrate this idea.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, value proposition, it's very important for us as a firm, as an organization, to understand how it means for us, understand what it means when we work with our clients. As we move into this advisory role, this virtual CFO role, the CIS role, talk about value prop. It's like block one on an advisor or clients or advisor firm. I know I recently did a session on thinking like a startup. And it's really block one for any business is, what's your value proposition? What's your why of your organization? If you can't start with that, it all falls apart after that because you're just running around aimlessly. You need that value proposition. What makes you different from everybody else in the industry? And that's something I think not a lot of firms can say, can verbalize externally or to their clients or to their staff. What makes us different? Dr. Sean, I don't know if I've told you the story before, but I was speaking at an industry conference. It was about 18 months ago. And there was a good-sized session, about 50 people in the audience. We started to talk about this. And one of the partners in the audience raised his hand to ask a question. It was more of a statement. And he said, all right, let's be honest, everybody. Completely honest. It's just us in here. Between all of us, there is no difference at all between any of us in this room. So his stance on the value prop was really none of them had a value prop, and there was no differentiating factor amongst all of them. which is the problem. There needs to be something different about your firm, the next firm downtown. I mean, so Dr. Sean, for you, you're in like what, New Jersey is the state you live in?
I am in New Jersey. Yeah, the greatest state in the country.
Next to New York, you know.
Right next to New York, right? Yeah, right next to Philly. Yeah, best state, you know, in the country.
Little sandwich. So near where you live, do you even know how many CPA firms are within, let's say, 20 miles of you?
Off the top of my head, no, actually, Garrett. And the on-the-spot question here is interesting, you know. But I'd say probably within what, a 25-mile radius. Well, because a 25-mile radius for me, where I live, includes all of Manhattan, all of Bronx, Queens.
Let's not go to before you get to Manhattan. How many you think are in
Bergen County, perhaps?
Sure. Made up place.
It's not a made up place. That's where I live. No. I'd say probably, at the very least, 800, 1,200 firms out there.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know any of them? I'm just going to ask you just some questions now.
Yeah, sure. So I do know quite a few of them. I don't usually talk about, you know, individuals that, you know, I do business with.
I'm not asking.
But I do know quite a few of them, and I know for a fact, just sort of add some context to it, that the NJCPA has over 15,000 individuals who are a part of that group. So that's all of the CPAs in New Jersey. So there are, at the very least, 15,000 people in Jersey who are CPAs.
So with the ones you see across New Jersey, how much difference do you see in those firms that stand out that you can clearly say, okay, here's this firm's value prop that's different from somebody else, without naming names?
Sure.
You see much differentiation from them.
Sure. So what I would say there is that really there are a handful of firms and you know, individuals out there who are really sort of embracing sort of automation and sort of I think taking taking advantage of that automation to expand into new areas. And I think that's the key, right? Is to sort of leverage all of these advances in the IT area to sort of automate some of those lower level tasks, and to also sort of free up time to embrace, you know, all of these new areas that our clients actually want. So there are a handful of them going
and I bet that rolls up into their overall business strategy. Their strategy more forward thinking, more progressive, more on the line. So that's kind of, you know, just kind of talking about just value proposition, a little bit of what it is. What makes you different as an organization from your peers? You know, that's what it really comes down to. So we're going to do a couple more episodes to really kind of dive into how do you think about what your value proposition should be, and then what are the different types of value propositions you can kind of get into that apply to our industry. So stay tuned for those future episodes that are coming. They're going to be interesting. We're going to take a deeper dive into that, because really it starts with that. If you don't start at block one of what's your value prop, either at your firm or when you start to work with your clients, it all falls apart with there, and they all kind of blend together, and your chance of success drops. Your chance of failure goes higher. So Dr. Sean, I think we're almost out of time here today. Any other final thoughts on value proposition you'd like to share with the audience?
Sure. So I would say probably the most important part of any value pitch is to be able to articulate it and to be able to, I think, summarize it, right, for external clients. Because all of us can have all of the ongoing dialogue that we want, but if we aren't able to articulate it and to actually, you know, inform our external customers and clients about it, it will do us no good.
That's some great advice, and I think that's where you kind of avoid that. I've heard it called the word salad. You've got like 6 buzzwords together that don't really mean anything, and everybody kind of says like, "Great, I still don't know what you do. I can't repeat back what you said to me, but I'm lost." So I want to thank everybody for tuning in today as we start our first take down that path of understanding what your value proposition is. If you got questions on the topic, please reach out to either of us. LinkedIn, Twitter, social media, whatever it is, we're here to help. For those of you that want to really keep the learning going and talking about value prop excites you, it interests you, more so than the tax code or the gap side, check out our entrepreneurial groups. Become the entrepreneur you deserve, because we talk about this stuff on a regular basis. How do we weave this into the practice of who we are, what we do? There's details below for our website. We've also got our special newest ebook just coming out. So click on the link, download your latest copy, take a good read. It's interesting, I promise. If you're watching on YouTube, click the little button, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, we challenge you today to take action to change the world and invest in yourself.